Is the use of the birth control pill ethical in the sense of proper family planning, or simply a selfish, sex-driven decision?
Birth control pills have become one of the most common methods of preventing pregnancy around the world. Many women use them as a contraceptive, while others use them for medical reasons such as regulating menstruation. The women who use the pill as a contraceptive are taking a huge risk for not only themselves, but also for potential children.
The pill consists of two main hormones which help prevent pregnancy: estrogen, which prevents eggs from leaving the ovaries, and progestin, which thickens the cervical mucus. The pill must also be taken daily, which makes it very easy to forget. The pill uses estrogen to prevent the eggs from leaving the ovaries, and without the egg in the uterus, it cannot get fertilized. Also, progestin is used to thicken the cervical mucus, which stops the sperm from going through the cervix.
One important statistic we found through a survey taken by women shows that up to 70% of people know that they will forget to take the pill. Even though the pill proved to be very effective, forgetting to take it can come with serious consequences. The pill does not protect against STDs, yet people use it as if it does. The pill is very effective when used properly, but the consumer's health is still at risk.
Control can have significant impacts on the consumer. These side effects are very common, unlike the side effects of other medicines. Short-term side effects include nausea, vomiting, weight gain, bleeding between periods, and mood swings. Long-term side effects include being chronically overweight and an increased risk of breast cancer. In this video, Dr. Elizabeth Lord talks about the side effects of birth control and how they have long-term effects. She is a licensed clinical laboratory scientist who has degrees in biological science and psychology. She graduated from California State, Pepperdine, and San Diego University.
Doctor, what's your thoughts on birth control pills? We talk about hormones. I mean, that's basically what those are.
Right.
Good, bad? Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Dr. Shaley wrote the foreword for my first book, and he included in that foreword that birth control pills were an abomination on womankind. And I didn't know whether to leave that sentence in there or not. But they are. They really are. They are totally messing up women's natural hormone rhythm. The major, major problem, and so this is the women who find me in their 40s who have been progesterone deficient their entire life because they've been on birth control pills too long. Because what happens with the birth control pills is it's stopping the ovulation.
Mhm.
And the only way women get progesterone is once the egg ovulates, what's left is what's called a corpus luteum. And that corpus luteum slowly puts out progesterone over the next few weeks until it's gone. And then when the progesterone is gone, that's what triggers the period.
Okay.
So when you stop women ovulating, they don't get progesterone. There's no progesterone coming from the natural rhythm of having eggs rupturing and every 28 days. So we have all these women literally around the world now who are chronically progesterone deficient. And that leads to the fibroid tumors, the ovarian cysts, and just such a list of problems. And a lot of women who find me for help, who start in describing immediately progesterone deficient symptoms, and they're just getting worse and worse and worse. And my first question is, have you been on birth control pills? And invariably they have.
What are some of those symptoms? I mean, you mentioned the tumors and things.
Yeah, that's right. That's the major ones,
Okay.
because those are from estrogen dominance. And fibroid tumors are huge and very large incidence, and what lead to hysterectomies, because the answer has been, well, gee, let's remove the whole uterus. And and for years and years and years now, we've had 645,000 hysterectomies performed in America alone. And a good portion of those are because of just fibroid tumors, which if women hadn't been on the birth control pills, they probably wouldn't have developed them to begin with. So this is one of the major, major problems.
Is it something that can be corrected if a woman gets off the birth control pills? Can the body kind of regulate itself again?
It depends on how long she's been on and the size of the tumors. Some of the tumors get very large. I've had women who have successfully used progesterone, natural progesterone, and bring themselves out of it. But I've had women that it didn't work. So again, it's an individual thing.
Birth control also has major effects on the children who result from improper use of the pill, and on the children who were produced by mothers who had previously used the pill. Since the birth control pill arrived in the 1960s, 1/3 of babies have been born to single women, making the issue of the pill and single parenthood more widespread.
Children raised by single parents tend to live in poverty, suffer from depression and addiction, commit more crimes, and have more unwed pregnancies, abortions, and divorces. This creates a cycle of poverty. These children that are born of mothers who have previously used birth control tend to live under unfavorable circumstances. The risk is not only on the consumer, but also on these children.
The pill creates unhealthy fetal conditions inside the mother. These conditions often lead to children being overweight in adolescence and adulthood. In addition, these fetal conditions also lead to a higher chance of breast cancer.
Taking into consideration the benefits and risks of using birth control, it can be determined that the pill is unethical. It promotes sex for pleasure and not creation. This is bad because more and more people in modern-day society are taking the risk of having unwanted babies. These babies, more often than not, are born under poor circumstances. This creates a cycle of poverty because the pill continues to increase the chances of children being born into unwed pregnancies by single parents. Even though the pill is effective in other ways, one of the main issues is that it contributes to nationwide poverty.
The birth control pill is also unethical because it detracts from the sacredness of sex and marriage. It encourages people to engage in sexual activity outside of relationships and marriage, which destroys not only the teachings of the church, but also the teachings of other moral theologians. Action must be made when something is unethical. In the case of birth control, a move to action would be finding alternative methods of contraception that adhere to ethical standards. A safe, ethical alternative to birth control would be natural family planning. Natural family planning is having sex based around the female's ovulation cycle so that the egg cannot be fertilized. This prevents pregnancy in a safe, ethical way.
In conclusion, although the birth control pill is an effective way to prevent pregnancy and can be used to regulate certain aspects of one's health, using it is unethical because of the negative effects it has on the lives of future children and the way it defiles the sacredness of creation, sex, and marriage.